Hey everybody, I am coming to you again on a totally random live chat here on Wednesday. I thought I have a video that I've been needing to get up, and it's been the video about talking about my 3 different kinds of wax that I use and what I use them for, and I don't know why I haven't been able to record it, so I figured I'll just do it live and we'll see how it goes, and then I can save it for everybody. So let's just jump right in. I'm gonna get started and talk about the 3 different waxes that I use here in my space. All 3 of them are Starpil waxes. I use the pink. Let me pan down here. Hi everybody. I'm gonna pan down so you guys can see. I use the pink Starpil wax. These are the beads. This is not the blocks. This is the newer polymer formula. I have the blue polymer beads. Again, beads, not the blocks. I also mix this one with my Starpil. And then this is my 3rd pot back here, and this is just the Starpil wax. So you can see those all ready to go. And I have those 2 Starpil pots. Those are my favorites. I love those ones. Let me get that back in place. Okay. All right, so people are constantly asking me about the 3 different waxes, and I'm recording it this way just so that you guys know, so that I can post it on YouTube later, because everybody was asking me to record in the opposite direction, so hopefully this isn't screwing it up for everybody. Hi! Okay, so the 3 waxes. The pink wax, this pink blend, or excuse me, the polymer blend, is a slightly tackier formula than the blue wax. So there's a difference in the way that this all looks, obviously, once it's on warmed up in the pot. The pink wax is a much creamier wax. It's not as clear. It doesn't have that same kind of see-through, kind of plasticky looking kind of consistency. The pink wax is really great to use in areas where you have more fine hair. So I like to use the pink wax on legs that have been waxed before, arms that have been waxed before. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm like so white. Awful. Any case, so pink wax is great to pick up those baby fine hairs in areas that have been waxed before. It's also really great for the face. People really like to use it on the face for brows and lip and that peach fuzz right here in these areas. It does a great job of picking up that hair because it is a little bit tackier. It's a creamier formulation. I do find that it dries faster, so you have to be a little bit faster moving with this particular wax. I posted a video for you guys the other day of a leg wax that I did on my poor husband who suffered through that. That was the very first time. So that leg wax, I used that pink because I really wanted to show the versatility of it, because so many people feel like the pink should, is only usable in areas like the face or maybe the underarm. But really, it does a great job of picking up even those thicker, coarser hairs on the leg. But you absolutely have to make sure that you're getting back to that strip faster. You can't just lay that one and then move on to the next one. So when you're working in an area like a leg or an arm with the pink, you're probably going to go ahead and lay that strip and then remove that strip right away. I primarily like to use that, like I said, on people who I have waxed before in larger areas who have finer hair that is growing in. Let's talk about the blue wax really quickly. So, let me just tell you, the pot for my pink wax, I have to, you know what, I need to turn this. Sorry guys, that's just too hard for me to read everybody. Let's see. There we go. Hi, sorry, learning. So my big wax pot that has the pink in it is not a Starpil pot. It's by a different company, and I am keeping this pot, the temperature currently is about 60 degrees Celsius. So this pot I find runs quite a bit warmer, so I keep it at a much lower temperature. But it gives me this really great consistency that I find works really well for me. So you can see when I pull that wax up, there's a good kind of little ribbon that happens there, but it sits on top of the pot. It doesn't just melt and go right in, which always gives me a good idea about the temperature of the wax. And then, so let's move on to my blue mix here, which is probably what you guys have seen me use a lot of. This is my mixture of the blue Starpil, the beads, the polymer blend, and the Starpil Starsoft. So this is a Starpil 5.5 pound wax pot, and it is currently at literally just like 77 degrees. Okay, so I've had this pot on, I've had it prepped since this morning, and that's what I'm keeping it at currently. And this again is that mix. It's the mix of the polymer beads, the blue, and the Starpil Starsoft. So I love using this particular mix, this blend, on areas that have thicker, coarser hairs that have not been waxed before, like on the back, on the chest, even on the arms. It works really, really well. That mixture, that tackiness that's created by putting the Starpil Starsoft into it allows me to lay multiple strips at a time. So you can see there's still a good stretch in this strip right now. A lot of people have difficulty with this particular blue wax drying too quickly on them and cracking when they remove it. So I overcome that by adding the Starpil Starsoft. So this allows me to work very quickly and allows me to multitask. So I can lay strips on both legs at the same time, or if I'm working on the arm, I can lay strips on both arms at the same time, and that way I can keep moving. So I'm laying one and then pulling one and laying one and pulling one versus having to stick with one strip at a time. And for me, again, the way that I achieve that is by adding the Starpil Starsoft into the Starpil blue polymer bead, and I create that blend. So backs, chests, arms, it's really a great combination when you have that right consistency. Now, some people may not have to add the Starpil Starsoft, and that's great. For me, I've needed to do that to be able to really work with the wax at that pace, and that's really what keeps me kind of at that speed wax pace, I guess. Can you add Starsoft to pink? You know, I get that question a lot, actually. I've not done it yet. The reason why I've not done it yet is because I haven't needed to. Because I do have the options, I've not had to add it. My only concern about adding the Starpil Starsoft to the pink is just the difference in the kind of base formulation. You know, the pink wax is much creamier and it's already quite tacky, so I've not really kind of done that yet. So I don't know if there's anybody out there who has, you know, mixed the two together. Like, let me know. I'd be super curious. I've just not needed to do it yet because the pink has worked for me in the areas that I use it without any problems. Like I mentioned before, when I'm working with the pink, I lay the pink and then I get right back to it. I tend not to do multiple strips with the pink because it does set up a little bit faster, and I'm usually working in a larger area and I just don't want the cracking. So I've not done the pink and the Starpil or the Starsoft, so let me know if anybody has. The Starsoft, let's see here. I'm keeping it right now just at 75, and I'm using it in my Starpil pot. I might actually go up a degree or two because I need to keep stirring it to keep that consistency the way that I want it. But I use the Starpil Starsoft for a handful of different purposes. Let me see if I can get this on my arm here. I use the Starsoft on guests that I have never seen before. If I have any concern about reaction, sensitivity, redness, the Starpil Starsoft is just so awesome because you don't have to worry about people having really any difficulties with it. There's a bit of a learning curve. I believe that it sets up a little bit differently. You have to wait for it a little bit longer, but for me, it's kind of like my foolproof. It's like a go-to that I'm going to use this on somebody that I've not worked on before. I always use it on the face. This is my preference. This is what I really like. It stays quite tacky and pliable, but it picks up both dark hairs and it also coarse hairs, and it also picks up the baby fine ones. So for me, it's really versatile. I love to use this on the underarm. I find that can be a really sensitized area. So whether or not somebody ever comes in and shares with me that they have any sort of sensitivity, I think because of all the chemicals and the deodorants that people use on their underarms, the Starpil Starsoft is an excellent direction to go. I also use it for Brazilians. I love it on Brazilians. It does change kind of the pattern that I work with. It changes the pace really that I can move at, but I do find that the Starpil Starsoft does an excellent job of picking up both kinds of hair, the soft fine hair, the dark coarse hair, and I lay fewer strips when I am working with the Starpil Starsoft on the Brazilian. Again, it does take a little bit of a learning curve. yeah, you can't move quite as fast, or at least I have found I can't move quite as quickly, but I feel like I lay fewer strips, and so the service doesn't really take that much longer. So I've definitely used the Starpil Starsoft on the rest of the body as well. If I'm having difficulty for some reason picking up some hair, I find that the Starpil Starsoft is, why do I always say Starpil Starsoft? You guys know what I'm talking about. Sorry, the Starsoft. The Starsoft is a little bit less sensitive to moisture, if that makes any sense. So in underarms, or if I'm working on someone's Brazilian and they're perspiring, I don't have the same concern about the wax drying and cracking and then not being able to remove the hairs in the same way. So for me, I prefer to use that, the Starsoft. Whereas if I'm working with the pink or if I'm working with the blue mix, it tends to be a little bit more reactive and dry a lot faster when it comes in contact with moisture. So I don't know, that's just my experience. I don't know if anybody else has had that experience. So in any case, and seeing some people are using the pink for the Brazilians in the face, awesome. Seeing people mix the pink and the blue together, I've not seen that. I'm not really sure exactly why somebody would mix them together. The properties of the pink, that creamy kind of consistency, the tackiness, I'm not sure what somebody would gain by mixing it with the blue. I'm not really sure. So if anybody has seen that or done that, please let me know. Tell me what you're thinking there, because I'd be super curious to see where you're using it. So I'll just review really quickly again. I'll go back. The pink, the beads, the polymer blend, the pink, I like to use on guests that I have seen a couple of times that I'm looking to for a tackier, kind of creamier wax. I do really pretty much lay this strip and then remove the strip right away. I'm not laying multiple strips oftentimes. If I'm working on somebody who has, say, smaller arms or smaller legs and I'm not laying a huge amount of wax, sometimes I can lay more than one, but I find that this one works better for me on people who I don't need to be moving quite as quickly. So if I can lay a strip and pull it, and I'm good to go. But it picks up really nice fine hairs. It does a good job of picking up coarse hairs as well. But for me, I use this for slightly tackier to really get those hairs that might be a little bit more difficult, that have already been waxed and they are already kind of conditioned to the process. The blue, I love to use this on legs and arms and backs and chests that they're just coming in, coarse hair, or if I've been seeing them for a while and they still have really coarse resistant hair, the blue mix is just my go-to. It does a great job of really shrink wrapping the hair, grabbing it. It glides onto the skin so beautifully. It's kind of hard to find another wax that spreads the way that the blue does, in my opinion. So I love to use that on large areas when I'm working quickly. When I want to lay more than one strip at a time, that's where I go. I go to my blue polymer blend and the Starpil Starsoft mix. It's kind of my jam. And then the Starsoft itself, I remember this time, the Starsoft, you'll always find me using it on the face. You'll always find me using it on Brazilians. I do like to use it on underarms as well. I find that it picks up all manner of hair and it just deals with that real sensitive area very easily. So people are constantly asking about what I use the different waxes for, and that's pretty much it. Don't feel pigeonholed. Don't feel like you can't use the wax in lots of different areas. Like I've said, I have certainly used the pink on the face and on the underarm and Brazilians. I've used the blue on the entire body, and I think at this point I've used the Starsoft on the entire body. So play with it, see what works for you, but in general that's kind of how I use the wax. My recommendation always for people who are just starting with the waxes is to always start with the blue beads. I feel like that is the best wax to start with for someone who's either a newer waxer or just getting used to the Starpil product. I think it's the most user-friendly and it's cost-effective. And then after you work with the blue, I think then the pink is probably next. This is going to give you a little bit more versatility, might help you pick up hairs in areas where you were struggling before with the blue if it wasn't grabbing the baby fine hairs. The pink has a lot more tackiness to it. And then after you've worked with both of those waxes, then my recommendation is to go to the Starsoft. The Starsoft just has a slightly different learning curve and requires a little bit more patience and kind of an understanding of the wax itself, but I love them. I love all three of them, and that's pretty much how I use them. So didn't want this to be a long one. Just wanted to make sure that I had an opportunity to kind of share with you guys, how I'm using the products and kind of where I like to use them. But like I said, don't be afraid to use them where you need to use them, because I think everybody's dealing with a different circumstance. Everyone's dealing with different hair, body types, room temperatures, all of those kinds of things. So have fun and explore with it. I'd love to hear if anybody has mixed the Starsoft into their the pink polymer blend. That'd be cool to hear if anybody did that. And I've never mixed the blue and the pink together, but if somebody has and they want to share kind of their experience with that, then let me know. Hopefully that was helpful, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my my highlights, and I'll save it for everybody so they have a chance to take a peek at it. And if you have any more questions, let me know. Thanks.